Hold up, Browns Nation. I need your full attention for the next few minutes because what I'm about to tell you could completely flip the script on how we view this upcoming season. While everyone's been obsessing over flashy signings and draft picks, the most important piece of Cleveland's championship puzzle just quietly locked himself back into place, and most people didn't even notice. We're talking about a move that could be the difference between another disappointing January sitting on the couch and actually watching our boys play meaningful football when it matters most. You know that feeling when you're missing something crucial, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. That was the Cleveland Browns' offensive line last season. Something was fundamentally broken, and every snap felt like we were one mistake away from complete disaster. Deshaun Watson was running for his life. Our running game looked like it was moving through quicksand, and frustration was building with every failed third down conversion. The missing ingredient wasn't some flashy skill position player or defensive superstar. It was the anchor that holds everything together in the trenches. It was Joel Bitonio. But here's the thing that's got me fired up. He's back, and he's not just back as some aging veteran trying to squeeze out one last paycheck. This man is locked in, focused, and ready to remind the entire AFC North why he's been the heart and soul of Cleveland's offensive line for over a decade. When Bitonio talks about his future, he doesn't sound like someone who's counting down the days until retirement. He sounds like a player who still has that burning desire to prove something, to leave everything on the field, to be part of something special. Listen to what he said about last season. There wasn't even a thought in his mind about hanging up the cleats. Not even close. While his body was telling him one thing after those brutal AFC North battles, his competitive fire was telling him something completely different. That's not the mentality of someone who's ready to fade into the sunset. That's the mentality of a warrior who knows his team needs him, who understands that his presence alone can transform an entire unit from mediocre to elite. Think about what happens when Bitonio is healthy and playing at his peak level. The entire offensive line elevates. The younger guys feed off his energy and experience. The protection schemes work the way they're supposed to. Suddenly, Watson has time to survey the field instead of feeling phantom pressure that isn't even there. The running lanes open up because defenders can't just pin their ears back and rush upfield without consequences. Everything clicks into place like a perfectly tuned machine. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. He's in his 12th season. Father Time is undefeated. Can he really still be that dominant force we need? Here's what I love about Bitonio's approach to this question. He's not making promises he can't keep or pretending he's got 5 more years left in the tank. He's taking it one game at a time, staying present, staying hungry. His focus isn't on some distant future. It's on December and January, when championship dreams either come true or die painful deaths. That mindset tells you everything you need to know about where this man's head is at. He's not playing for individual accolades or statistical milestones. He's playing for those January games that every Browns fan has been dreaming about for decades. He wants to be part of a playoff run that actually means something, not just a wild card appearance where we get bounced in the first round and call it progress. But here's the reality check we all need to face. This can't be a one-man show. The Browns organization knows that Bitonio's window is closing, whether that's after this season or maybe one more after that. The clock is ticking on finding and developing his successor, someone who can learn from the master and eventually carry that torch forward. Last year's offensive line struggles weren't just about one missing player, but his absence exposed just how much this team relies on veteran leadership and consistency in the trenches. The front office can't afford to wait until Bitonio retires to start grooming his replacement. They need to be developing that next generation right now, while they still have access to one of the best guards in franchise history who can teach them not just the technical aspects of the position, but the mental side of the game that separates good players from great ones. The knowledge transfer needs to happen while Bitonio is still suited up, still competing at the highest level, still showing these young guys what it means to be a professional. And let's talk about what this means for the bigger picture in Cleveland. The AFC North isn't getting any easier. The Ravens are always going to be physical and well-coached. The Bengals have that explosive offensive capability that can torch you if you're not ready. Even Pittsburgh, in whatever transition phase they're in, still plays that brand of football that can make your life miserable if you're not prepared for it. In this division, you don't get to take plays off, and you certainly don't get to have weak links on your offensive line. Having Bitonio back gives Cleveland something that can't be quantified in statistics or analytics: credibility. When opposing defenses game plan for the Browns, they know they can't just scheme around one weak spot and expect to dominate. They know that even if they win individual battles, they're going to have to earn every single pressure, every single tackle for loss, every single disrupted play. That changes how they approach the entire game. If you're getting value from this breakdown, and you want the Browns Breakout channel to keep bringing you the inside perspective on everything Cleveland football, smash that like button right now. It actually makes a huge difference in helping this content reach more Browns fans who need to hear this analysis. What excites me most about Bitonio's return isn't just what it means for this season, but what it represents for the culture Kevin Stefanski and this coaching staff are trying to build. This is a player who has every right to walk away, who has nothing left to prove individually, but who's choosing to come back because he believes this team can accomplish something special. That's the kind of leadership that transforms locker rooms and creates championship mentalities. When younger players see a veteran like Bitonio grinding through the pain, showing up every day with that same intensity and preparation, it sends a message about what's expected in Cleveland. It establishes a standard that becomes contagious throughout the entire roster. You can't fake that kind of commitment, and you can't manufacture that kind of respect. Either you've earned it through years of excellence and sacrifice, or you haven't. The timing of Bitonio's return also couldn't be better for Deshaun Watson's development within this system. Last season was frustrating for Watson on multiple levels, but having that stability and familiarity in the protection scheme should allow him to focus on what he does best instead of constantly worrying about where the next pressure is coming from. When your quarterback trusts his protection, everything else becomes easier. The timing routes, the deep shots, even the scrambling situations become more manageable. This season is shaping up to be one of those make-or-break years for Cleveland. The talent is there, the coaching staff has had time to implement their system, and the expectations are higher than they've been in years. Having Bitonio back doesn't guarantee success, but it eliminates one of the biggest question marks that was hanging over this offense. It provides that foundation of reliability that championship teams are built on. Browns Nation, I want to hear your thoughts on what Bitonio's return means for this season. Are you feeling more optimistic about our championship chances? Do you think this offensive line can get back to being a strength rather than a concern? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I read every single one, and your perspective matters in understanding where this fan base's head is at as we head into what could be a truly special season. The stage is set, the pieces are in place, and with warriors like Joel Bitonio leading the charge, there's no telling how far this team can go. Stay locked in with Browns Breakout for all the analysis and insights you need as we count down to what promises to be an unforgettable season in Cleveland.